I'd like to thank everyone who's here to join us for the grand opening of the Arboretum Community Center. This has been a long time coming event, which has been fought for by this community for many years that preceded me being here. So I would like to thank Councilman McDuffie, Keith Anderson, and Delano Hunter, Jackie Manning, who is our commissioner. She worked tirelessly with us to get this done. And I also would like to thank our community, which came down to the meetings to shape the center as it is with their advocacy. And I'd like to thank all the people who are no longer here in the community. I just will name two people, Mr. Stevens and Mr. Cooper, who have predeceased this event, but they worked tirelessly and inspired me to push. Also, I'd like to thank people. We sort of formed a committee that was with Macy Hughes and Gene Mason, and we attended meetings with Councilman McDuffie. And I also wanted to thank our Friends of Head, which is John Railman. He also met with us and Councilman McDuffie. So I hope everyone here will enjoy this center, which will give the Arboretum neighborhood a priority over its programming. Thank you.
Thank you, Randall. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Come on, man. Are we in Ward 5 or are we in Ward 5? Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
As we joined by our illustrious Mayor, Mayor Bowser, let's give her a round of applause. I am Ward 5 Councilmember Kenya McDuffie, and I am so delighted to be here this afternoon to celebrate and this great occasion. As Randall mentioned, this is a long time coming. And I think the community, all the residents who labored for years, who work with my office, who work with Mayor Bowser and her team, Keith Anderson, Delano Hunter, Jackie Manning deserves a round of applause as well because she stayed on my case and anybody else's case to make sure that this happened today. I also want to recognize our State Board of Education representative. Zachary Parker is also here. Zachary, thanks for being here. This is what community is all about. Making these sorts of investments where is a partnership between government, neighbors. You know, the one thing about the Arboretum neighborhood is it kind of used to be a secret. It used to be one of the best kept secrets in the District of Columbia, but when you're making investments like this and you see and other people see and visit this building, when they see the gymnasium, the tennis courts, when they see the garden behind here, it's not going to be much of a secret anymore because this is going to be the place where people want to live, work, raise their families. And so I'm really just so gratified to have been able to work with the mayor and the representatives of DGS, all the ANC commissioners. Macy and Gene were phenomenal in spearheading the working group to make sure that this happened. And this is exactly what partnership is supposed to look like. The Arboretum neighborhood is so deserving of this investment, and I can't wait until we're able to just go inside and take a tour of this. So thank you for all the work that you all have done to make this happen today. Thank you to DPR, thank you to DGS, thank you to the mayor, and thank you to all the ANC commissioners and the civic leadership. Let's all give a resounding round of applause for our mayor, Muriel Bowser.
Well, hello, Ward 5. It's great to see everybody here, and I want to thank your council member, Kenya McDuffie. Give him a big round of applause. You know, as I was getting here, Kenyon, I was thinking of all the events like this that we have shared in the last several years, which is a testament to your leadership in Ward 5. You know, I was a ward council member and an ANC commissioner, so I know how these two right here feel when you have been talking in neighborhoods, when you have been listening to concerns, when you have fought for budget dollars, when you have worked on a design, and then you're able to deliver a project to the community that the community has been asking for. It is a joyous experience. So I want to congratulate your leadership, Mr. Chandler. Where's Mr. Chandler? Thank you, Mr. Chandler, for your leadership as well. An acknowledgement to our Democratic nominee for Ward 5 Council, who's probably feeling lucky for Tuesday. It's a reminder to everybody to go out and vote. But I am happy to be here with my team. Have you guys spoken already? All right, so I'm happy to be here with my team. Another Ward 5 Jim, your director of DPR, Delano Hunter. Give Delano a big round of applause. And hailing from Ward 4, Keith Anderson, the director of DGS and former director of the Parks Department. And we are very proud when we can talk to a community about new space. Play space, meeting space, playgrounds, gardens, a half-court gym, a tech lounge, and event space. The Arboretum is a true community center. We also know that it is LEED certified facility, and I'm told that the energy we're saving here is enough to power 14 homes in a single year. This represents a $20 million investment, and we're able to also talk about a $20 million investment in the Crummell School, also in Ward 5. So that's good news as well. I wanted to be here to help you celebrate, to speak on behalf of our entire government, who are 37,000 people who are at your service every single day. So whether it's schools, parks and recreation, transportation, public safety, we are here to step up to the big challenges of our city and do so with you every single day. So I want our directors to talk in some specificity about what we're delivering, and even better, what the programs and services will be at our new center. So let me start with DPR Director Delano Hunter.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser, and good afternoon, everyone. I want to spend my few moments congratulating everyone and thanking everyone. First, I want to congratulate the community. What you see before you today is not months in the making, it's not years in the making, it is decades in the making. Folks, both long-term residents and new residents, you've advocated for many, many years. I can remember conversations with Ms. Mason before I was at DPR. I can't think of the gentleman's names, but he leads the boxing program. I remember having conversations with him some time ago about the need to invest in this facility. It has continued with our ANC, Jacqueline Manning. It has continued with Mr. Chandler. And what you see today is the culmination, again, of decades of advocacy. So I want to congratulate you. Next, I want to thank some folks, and I want to start off by thanking Mayor Bowser. If you've been to any ribbon cutting or any event of significance and I've had an opportunity to speak, I always like to brag that D.C. has been ranked as having the best park system in the nation 2 years in a row by Trust for Public Lands. And I always acknowledge D.C. is a wonderful town. We have great National Park Service assets. Also, we're standing beside one of my favorite, overseen by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and that's the Arboretum. Those are great. We love it. But it's the local investments that helped us to get to number one. And what you see behind me is the personification of what those local investments look like. Isn't that exciting? This is what it's all about. I'm going to let you know a little bit about this space, some of the programs we'll have here at Arboretum. It includes enrichment zones, Supreme Teens, Young Ladies on the Rise, and Young Men Future Leaders. We'll have family movie nights and game nights. There'll be arts and crafts clubs, fine jewelry making, and a cardio program. And the staff's going to take good care of you. Leading our community recreation division is Otis Granson. Raise your hand. Grace, raise your hand. So if you staffing concerns, Otis is your point person. Leading the programs that will help to bring this site to life is Marcus Coates. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. If you have any ideas about programming that you want to see here, he'll take good care of you. So again, I just want to continue to thank Brent and our Capital Division. I want to thank our studios for this amazing design. I think this helps to set the standard for what we call the field house should look like. And I know you'll be satisfied. I want to thank GCS Siegel for a wonderful job, an excellent craftsmanship. And again, I want to thank everyone that played a role in helping us to get across the finish line. This is also my SMD. I reside about a half mile down the road. So I look forward to spending some weekends here with the kids. And again, I just want to thank everyone. A special shout out to my commissioner, Commissioner Manning, because she has been in my ear, on a know about this for the past 5-6 years. So I'm so excited for her, Mr. Chandler, and the entire community. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to the director of the D.C. Department of General Services to tell you a bit more about this facility, and that's Keith Anderson.
Good afternoon, everyone. At the Department of General Services, we build, maintain, sustain District of Columbia properties, including schools, municipal buildings, and community centers such as the renovated Arboretum Community Center, which is right behind me. Mayor Bowser, I'd like to thank you for your commitment to ensuring our families have safe, energy-efficient, and fun recreation centers of joy in all 8 wards. And I'd also like to say a special thank you to Councilmember McDuffie, ANC commissioners, and community members for your support while working with us throughout this entire project. I'm pleased we're cutting the ribbon today on a unique community center that has recreational elements for everyone, maintains the historical integrity of the facility, and moves forward energy and sustainability. We spoke a lot about some of the sustainability efforts. As you can see, we have bioretention cells, which are right behind us. And this building, ladies and gentlemen, is slated to be LEED Silver. So that is a wonderful job to ensuring a less footprint on our environment. Again, there are a number of enhancements and amenities for the community in this building. I'll just go over a few because it's a very long list. To include an outdoor fitness area with equipment, outdoor access to family restrooms, which I know is very important, especially for those of us with young children, picnic pavilion with power lights, tables, and a smoker for the community. So I do intend to have some very good cookouts. I think I know who to talk to for a permit about that. Also, a fitness center with exercise equipment and boxing heavy bags, tech lounge, and soft play room for toddlers. And guess what, Madam Mayor? 46 district residents worked on this project. Also, the contractor, GSC Siegel, is a CBE, and over 50% of the work here went to local certified businesses here in the District of Columbia. I'm very proud of that. So making this renovation happen was not easy, so I'd like to thank my stellar team, the Capital Construction team led by Tiffany Moore, Michael Hutchinson, absolutely, who heads Recreation Center projects, and the manager on this was Michael Etherington. Thank you, team. Community, I hope you enjoyed your new community center as much as we did building it. Have a great time here. Thank you.
And our final speaker is ANC Commissioner Jackie Manning.
Good afternoon, Arboretum. I've always wanted to walk up to a podium and say, good afternoon, my name is Jacqueline Manning, and I'm a Parks and Rec kid. I think there's so much importance in knowing that, especially when you are committed to your neighborhood and you grew up in a neighborhood where you matter. And everyone respected each other, and the recreation center was where we had meetings. So it's so important for us to be here today, and I would like to pay homage to those that are not here, no longer with us, but also did the hard work and the path that we stand in, that we come here today, decade after decade after decade after decade, to see this building. So I'm going to start off reading their names, and at the end, we'll do a moment of silence. Miss Barbie, Mrs. Booth, Mr. and Mrs. Cooper, Mrs. Doris Gill, Mr. and Mrs. Harley, Dr. Vincent Jones, my beloved parents, Carolyn and Daniel Manning, Mrs. Elaine Noten, Mr. Noten, Mrs. Scott, Mrs. Corrine Stanton, Mr. Stevenson, and Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. Thank you. I definitely want to say thank you so much, Madam Mayor, for always talking to me on the phone and listening to me, even when you had to say, we have to get off the phone now, Commissioner. I really appreciate that you listened to me and that you agree that Arboretum definitely need renovations. Because I text you all the pictures all the time. And to our beloved Councilmember Kidron McDuffie, thank you, sir, for so much coming out doing night walks with me and understanding how important this rec meant to the community and what it looked like, especially to the budget, keeping in the budget, even though we had to toggle back and forth with the budget. Amen to that, but we got here. We're here today, and there'll be plenty more to come. And if you listen to all of the residents, especially Randall Chandler, Gene Mason, Macy Hughes, Ralph Gill, Mark Green, Toby Goodson, DJ. I'm leaving some folks out, but you all know who you are. And I thank you so much for always being there to make sure you spoke up for this community where they say that nobody lives, but we do. We're thriving in this community. We're hidden secret, and we're going to continue to be that way, a safe hidden neighborhood. But more importantly, I want to thank Delano Hunter, who definitely, our director, came over. He understood understood the arguments. They were good, healthy arguments, but he understood. I would text him at night. Midnight started at midnight, going all the way up to 12 noon. So those things are so important when we as a community stick together to get what we have here. But I think most importantly, the Arboretum Civic Association, Parkway Plaza Tenant Association, without you, we could never do this. Thank you again. Onward, Arboretum. Thank you.
Right. So I think it's time for us to cut a ribbon, and then we're going to take a look around. Thank you. Everybody ready? Yeah. On the count of three, we're going to say, you do it, Councilmember.
We're going to say Arboretum on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Arboretum!